Good afternoon, everyone. It's your girl Annie. Welcome back to my channel, and hello if you are new here. If you are new here and thrifting content is your jam, go ahead and subscribe to the channel because I really think you're gonna like it here. Now, today we've got the video that I've been talking about for weeks now. It is the office transformation, and I'm gonna call it phase one because it's like incomplete. There are things that I still want for that room that I'm determined to thrift that I just have not been able to find yet, and I will tell you what they are when we go through the room. Now, number two, I forgot to take a before video. Can you tell I'm new at this? But I think I can scrounge up a clip or a photo from previous videos, so no big deal. We'll make it work. But I think the way I wanted it to go in my head just really didn't play out in the video, so I'm gonna piece together some of the clips that I've got, and I'm gonna do like a voiceover. But I think what I'm gonna do after we see like the projects that I did in there is sit down with you guys, do a little bit of decorating, but also go over all of the furniture pieces in there and how much I paid and kind of do like a price list, because almost everything in that room is I have such a hard time saying that. Spoiler alert, it's all thrifted, most of it. My monitors are new. Anyways, so we're gonna sit down and do that, and I really do hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I've been talking about it for so long, so annoying, I'm sorry, but it just takes time, honestly. It really does take time, and it's still not done yet, but I wanted to get the video out because it's coming together, and I'm just loving the space so much. I love working in there, like for my full-time job. I love editing my videos in there, just watching TV, and I will show you guys. You guys have seen the chair that I bought. You'll see it. It's not mine anymore. I'll just tell you that. I'm filming this right now. My dog is laying in the chair. She's been there for hours and she won't move. So we'll see how I've lost my chair. Anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We are gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna show you what it looked like really quick before, and then we're gonna paint. And you will see what color I chose and how amazing it looks. So I'm gonna stop rambling and we're gonna go right ahead and get to painting. Okay, so we are now in my office. I do have a full-time job. That is where I work for a majority of the day. And I'm going to create a little loungy area where I do most of my filming for hauls, take my staged photos for my Etsy and Poshmark. All of that is gonna be done in here. I wanna do a dark color on the walls. I wanna get a vintage desk. I wanna get vintage, either like a vintage coffee table or a little vintage side table. I'm gonna mount a TV here. Really cute vintage piece of furniture here. Probably my crystals and all that kind of stuff over here. It's just gonna be a totally different room. And here is where I showed you guys the paint samples that I chose. This is actually me painting the color that I actually went with, which is Gladiator Gray. And we are moving on to painting the walls. My mom helped me out, which I am so appreciative for, because if she didn't help me, it would have taken me an entire day to paint this room, because our walls are so textured. Like, I am pushing on that roller to make sure that it's getting coverage. Oh my God, I could not imagine doing that by myself. And it was around this moment right here where I'm asking my mom if she thinks I should have primed those little 3 squares that you can clearly see where I did my paint samples. The rest of the walls are not painted, so I'm asking her if I should prime. And I told her I feel like I should, and then never did. And you cannot tell that there are paint samples on the wall anywhere. It covered just fine. And then on to more painting. I think this took us a total of like 4 hours maybe to complete the entire room. And I still needed to go in and do a second coat on all of the walls and do the trim and the doors. So that was just a ton of work. I actually got these paintable outlet covers just because I wanted everything to be really seamless in the space. And I left this part in and I'm just gonna voice over it, but my husband was giving me like a full tutorial on how to put an outlet cover on the wall, and I thought it was hilarious. He was right, but I was just like, his tutorial took quite a bit. Love you, babe. And then we're just taking the Gladiator Gray paint and painting right over it. These did take 2 coats to fully cover it. I don't know if it was something I was doing wrong or the paint or the brush, but every time I would go, like I would do a stroke of paint and go back over it, it was like stripping the paint with it. So that was quite frustrating, but I made it work. For everyone's satisfaction, a little tape pulling over here. As you can see, the ceiling looks like crap. I'm not a professional painter. All right, everyone, I am checking in because I just found the perfect piece for my office. It is right here, a beautiful table that I am going to use as a desk. Now, it was not marked, so it did not have a price on it. And I was like, okay, I like it. Let me just ask the lady how much it is. So she came over, she looked at it, and she was like, how about $4.99? I was like, no, that's way too much because the top definitely needs work. Like, it needs to be sanded, the whole shebang. And she was like, what are you thinking? I was like, more like 20 bucks because it needs work. And she was like, well, I can do $29.99. I was like, I'll wait till you guys have a better sale, like 50% off furniture or something like that. And then I walked around the store and she came up to me. She was like, hey, why don't we meet in the middle and do $24.99? I was like, well, let me get a tape measure and make sure that it's the right size because I do have measurements on my phone. Pro tip, if you're looking for furniture, have your measurements readily available for moments like this. So I measured it. It's gonna be the perfect size. So I bought it for 25 bucks and we are on the way home now, and I am so excited to get this piece ready, finished, and put in my office. It's gonna be so good. Here we have the top of my desk. The legs screw off, which is amazing, and my husband sanded the top down for me because there was a lot of gouges and like paint and just crusty stuff on there. I thought it was real wood, but it is not. It is a veneer. So in some spots he did go down too far, but that's okay. I'm still very appreciative that he sanded it for me. And so now we're just gonna go ahead and paint it. I do have some primer over there in that can, so we're gonna prime it first, and then we're gonna sand and move on to painting. Alrighty, so primer is on. It took me forever because I was using that and it just was not the move, but I used what I had. So now I'm going to sand it. This is a 320 orbital sanding sheet that I'm just gonna do a very light sand, and then we're gonna paint. Okay, here it is. I need to do the inside of these little areas right here and, you know, all the way around, but I want to let it dry first. But it's primed and this is the second coat. I need to go pick out a top coat, so it's not done yet, but it's done enough to where I can finish painting, put the legs on, and show y'all the whole look. Okay, I know this is a weird angle, but the table, the table is done, and luckily for me, the legs screw in, so it's easy to assemble and disassemble as needed. And there is my hubs. He's helping me hang up the TV on the wall. And as you can see, I am being just the best help ever, supervising. So here it is up on the wall. He did a great job and I am so happy with it. Next up, I put him to work again. We're gonna hang up the curtain rod that I got. And I actually got these really cool brackets off of Amazon, just to add a little bit more of a decorative element. Moving right along into just getting this space cleared. Over the last several weeks, things have found a new home on the floor. Like, all this paint supplies has been left there since I finished painting the room, which has been quite some time. So we're just getting things up off the floor, moving them around, throwing things in the trash that need to go to the trash, finding new homes for things, and just really getting this space totally ready for, one, the big reveal, but also just getting a little bit more organized, you know? We don't need a lot of random things on the floor. And that about wraps it up. All right, so we are going to decorate this little guy right here. I don't want to keep this here permanently. This is a space where I want a display shelf or something like that. Maybe a little cabinet, more on the vintagey side. And it's one of the things that I have been on the look for but cannot find. So this was here originally, and I'm just going to keep it here because, number one, I don't have anywhere else to put it, and number two, I want something here because it looks very bare when it's not here. So, and I want to decorate, so we're going to use this to put a little decor on top. So that's what we're going to do right now. Just a little bit of decorations on here. Basically, it's going to be a lot of brass. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Should we start off with the vase? I have two different options. This is a new one from Goodwill that I can put. Ooh, girl, you are gonna kill me. Can you just get on your chair? Get in your chair. You're going the wrong way, ma'am. Okay, so I have this one, which I like here. I'm gonna make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. That may be better. So I've got that one, but I've got some black eucalyptus stems in here. And I have no idea how I want to style this, so I'm just gonna speed it up so y'all don't have to see me struggle. I do want like a bunch of candlesticks back here, so I'm gonna pull some of those. I already had some out, so we're gonna work with those. Had these. So we'll see. Okay, it's getting serious. I put the hair back. So I'm just bringing out all the candlesticks that I had on this little table to begin with and just rearranging them. If y'all were curious, I had all of my brass candlesticks hidden away in here. Some of them have been dispersed throughout my house, but let's see if I have that one already out here. So I'm just rearranging them to make sure that all of the heights are different and the styles are different and that they all work well together. I have a million of them, so it took me a little bit, and since I don't have a large surface area to work with, I tried to make the most of what I got. Next was adding candlesticks. I have also a million of those. Most of them are thrifted, not gonna lie, which I love because tapers can be expensive. I broke that one by accident, but not a problem. Just cut it down and stick it in a candle holder. I got out my black drippy candles. I absolutely love those. Now that most of them are in the space, I forgot about my little cauldron right here. So basically took down everything that I already just did and rearranged it all. Don't we love that? All right, so this is what I have styled up on here really quickly. Just some neutral candles, my brass, my little cauldron. Super simple until I can find the perfect piece for this whole area. This is what we're working with. Okay, so the next little area is this right here. Of course, I will talk about the table at the end, but obviously this is not what's going to be here. I need to change it up, but I don't have anywhere to put my books yet because I don't have this is not what I want. So I didn't have a place to put my books, so I just threw them here for the time being, but now they need to go somewhere else. And I have this here, which is like, okay, but I have something else that I'm gonna try putting over here. So I'm gonna go grab that and I will be right back. Okay guys, are you ready? It is this. And you're probably like, what in the hell is that thing? This is my wedding bouquet. I know, it's crazy and I absolutely loved it. It's massive, but I clearly am attached to it. I don't wanna, I don't wanna not have it. I just don't have a good spot for it because it's literally massive. And I'm trying to put it here. Okay. So that's not working up there. But literally, there is absolutely nothing stopping me from just leaving it on the floor over here. Okay, so clearly that didn't work. But pivot, rearrange, try it out. I can move this somewhere else, right? And just put this here for the time being. So my plan to put my bouquet here, as you see, if you can see it, is not gonna work. So I can put this back here, but I feel like it's just like there's not a whole lot going on with just the little candelabra. I could also maybe put this little guy here. Okay, so I actually totally changed my mind. I switched the little table that was here for this one and moved that table over here. Hello, Angel. Everyone, I would love you to meet my girl. Yes, her name is Girl. She is the best thing in my life. I love her to absolute pieces. She is a Staffordshire and German Shepherd mix, and she's about 6.5 to 7 years old. And I love her. And as I mentioned in the intro, she's still in my chair. Now belongs to her, but that's okay. All right, everybody, before we finish off the space, I do the little finishing touches. I'm waiting on something to be printed. I figured I would sit down and go through all of the furniture pieces that are in my room. I do not have a separate mic or a camera where I can sit y'all down and walk around the room and you can hear me. So we're gonna do it this way. I'm basically just gonna go over the furniture or like larger pieces in here. Assume all of the little trinkets were thrifted because that is what we do here on my channel. But I did want to just show you all of the furniture and the larger pieces so you can see that you do not need a very large budget to make a space that really feels like you. Because a lot of the pieces in here, I mean, were super cheap, and I absolutely love that the way this whole room is turning out. So the first thing is gonna be this chair right here. I will put in some clips of the pieces closer up as I'm talking about them, but we're gonna start with this chair right here, which, like I mentioned in the intro, is no longer my chair. It belongs to her. This dog absolutely loves the chair, and so do I. Now, if you do not remember from previous Thrift With Me's and hauls, I did talk about this chair, and it was only $5. But the chair was in perfect condition. It doesn't have a lining on the bottom, but that doesn't bother me. I'm not looking at the bottom of the chair. There's a stain on the other side of the cushion, but you can take it off. I washed it. My mom washed it. I cleaned the chair with my little Bissell, and for $5, I love it. The next item is going to be this stool right here. Now, it doesn't quite fit with the decor, but it's kind of one of those pieces where I'm just gonna make it work. I found this for $5 at my favorite thrift store ever. I did haul it in one of my, was it a massive thrift haul? I'll link it above. It did have a different fabric, so I went ahead and reupholstered it. And the lacy kind of fabric, I actually got it from the same thrift store. It was like $1 or $2. So for, I don't know, for like a total cost of $6 or $7, I have a beautiful vintage footstool. Moving right along to something that's actually kind of unconventional, but my TV. I work full-time from this office, and working in here without a TV was a little rough. So I was like, at some point, I want a TV for in here, and we were gonna, wait till Black Friday or a sale or whatever. And one day we walked into Goodwill, and I was like, wait a minute, this is a really nice TV. So I bought the TV for, I think it came out to like $62 with like my little, if you're signed up for their newsletter, you get like 5% off or something. So it was $65, but I ended up paying $62 for I think it's a 40-inch TV, like smart Roku TV. Crazy. Another thing, always check your thrift stores for anything that you could need because you're gonna find it. Moving on to the little side table that you guys saw me style that is now by this chair. I got that at Goodwill for 12 bucks. Thought it was precious. It has the little clawfoot feet that I die over. So I bought it, and it's definitely coming in handy in this space, whether it be just to fill up a little corner or to act as my side table for now. And we're gonna jump right into the table that was in its place that is now, they flip-flop, whatever. It's that little 2-tier round table. It's like right here next to me. I got that for 20 bucks at Goodwill. I saw this like the first day that we were going out thrifting with the office in mind, and I was just like, ooh, put it in the cart. It's perfect. Now that it's in my space, it's really hard to style, as you can see in the video, because you can really only put smaller things on the bottom shelf. And then the initial purpose that I had it by the chair was to be like a side table. So I'm putting like my drink, my phone, the remote. I can't put anything else on the top. So it's working, but was it the best choice? Probably not, but I will definitely make it work. And it is working over here in this little corner to where I can actually style it, but we'll see how that turns out. And we've got 2 things left. I'm going to save the best for last. I still can't believe I found it, but we're going to move on to my desk. It's right over here. I'm looking at it. As I mentioned earlier on in the video, I did pay $25 from it. I kind of haggled my way down from $50. So I redid the top, and I'm actually pretty surprised with how it came out, considering I used acrylic paint that I had on hand. Like, I didn't use like a specific furniture paint or anything like that. It was just something that you would use to paint a project. I just did the top of it. I went and bought varnish, and then that was basically it. So I had about $10 or $12 worth of supplies on top of the $25 that I paid for it, and I'm not too mad with the way that it turned out. And I did not do anything to the legs. I didn't want to even attempt to sand them because that's all that ridges and the round. No, I wasn't going to do that. So I just left them as is. They're dark enough that it kind of blends in with the black, but I'm not even worried about it. It looks so good, and for less than $50, I have a really, really unique piece. Okay, and last but not least is probably the best find for this room. And I mean, it is absolutely perfect for the vibe that I want in this space. I got another brass chandelier. It's stunning. I'm just going to let y'all take it in for a moment. We're going to put a video up in here, and you can just see all the details. I absolutely love it. It's so pretty. I love the little details on the bottom, the details around the downlighting light bulb. The globes are so pretty. Like, it is so perfect, and it looks so, so good in this room. I love it. It casts like a really cool light, like the shadows on the ceiling. Oh my God, it looks so good. So I'm going to put a grand estimate total of all of the bigger pieces in my office right here on the screen. I'm going to put the total here. And as you can see, we did good, y'all. I'm not going to include the paint or anything like that, because if you're going to paint a room, you're going to pay for the supplies anyways, and that's not really the purpose of this video. It's the everything else. Alrighty guys, so this is the room. What do you guys think it's very different than when we moved in, and what really transformed this space is this dramatic wall color. I am in love with it. I'm a very indecisive person, so only choosing 3 colors and picking one out of those 3 and really liking it speaks volumes. It's such a beautiful color. I absolutely love it. Now, like I mentioned before, this is phase 1 of this room transformation. We still need a few things. I still need a little display cabinet here. And to mention, all of the artwork that you guys saw on the wall are downloadable prints from Etsy. I wanted this space to be a very dark and moody space. And since I didn't do black on the walls and like all those really dramatic dark colors, I think a way to still bring in that like almost gothic, really dark feel is through the decor. So the very moody prints, get a lot of very dark and black accents for the room. So I still need stuff like that. But the major change that is to come when phase 2 comes out, whenever that is something's gonna happen on the ceiling, and I want your guys' input on what that should be. I'm leaning with 2 different options. Number 1 being paint the ceiling. Paint it gladiator gray, the same color as the walls, or this would be something very, very different, but I have always loved ceiling tiles. Home Depot sells them in a plethora of designs and colors. So I'm thinking perhaps copper or antique bronze ceiling tile. And these are the ones that I'm looking at right here. They're beautiful. I have zero idea how to hang them, so I could hire it out. But I think having ceiling tiles up on the ceiling in this room would just be wow. Like that would be a real showstopper. But since I am considering a color that is similar to my chandelier, what I would do there is buy a ceiling medallion for the light fixture. That way it'll break up like the bronze ceiling, white ceiling medallion, bronze/brass chandelier. That way my beautiful chandelier does not get lost, because did you guys see how pretty that thing is? So let me know down in the comments what you guys think should happen up here on the ceiling. Should I do something simple and just paint it, or go a little bit different and really add some character in this room? Let me know down below. And if you guys liked today's video, another way to let me know is to give it a like. I like to see it, and so does YouTube. It is a very small gesture that helps my channel in a very big way. But more than that, if you guys are enjoying the content, you're liking the room transformations that came out, the thrift with me, the hauls, all the good stuff, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world to me, and it doesn't take a lot to give me a little click, but I will leave that up to you. And until the next one, bye guys.